Hey everybody, it's Kevin, and today is Monday, the 25th of January 2021. I hope you're well. I hope you are rested. I hope you had a great weekend, a restful Sunday, and I'm ready to go, raring to go for the beginning of what we would say here as a work week. Let's see. I wanted to do something a bit different this morning. I always have a bit of an issue with not planning, and then I have an issue with planning. It seems weird. And I think that's because I battle with being totally and fully present. I like being totally and fully present. I like the randomness of it. But then, we live in a world where things are structured such that we're supposed to do things at a certain time on a certain day with certain people. That part is a bit of a tough one. I think my work life, salon life with clients is pretty much organized and on track that way. But it also requires being present and listening. Oftentimes in my work, I find that somebody might sit in the chair and they are in for whatever the regular maintenance haircut color, whatever that is, and I'm feeling something different. Not totally different, not wild and crazy different, but just like, oh, I've got this feeling that perhaps we can, zhuzh this up a bit, or pop a bit more off the bottom, or freshen up the shape, or there's something else that comes through. And that's being fully present and listening to what's in front of me. But that can also take a different course of turning what I'm about to do takes longer. The schedule goes off. Anyway, I'm digressing. But the reason why I wanted to do something a bit different this morning was, I was a little unsettled yesterday. I felt like just me, other people might not have been. The meditation was a bit off, odd, strange, different. And it's okay. It was nothing. I'm not trying to make it wrong. I'm just thinking it was a weird energy, not a bad energy, not a negative energy, just different. Sometimes different. I have to get to why is this feeling so different, and that happens a lot. That again is being present. I wasn't getting anything during the day. I did write and pretty much finish a pretty difficult chapter, bit section on my book that I'm working on. It's a section about the sin of insecurity, and how the stories that get created come from a situation we don't understand and nobody explains. And so, the human side of all of us puts it in a box and justifies why. And we're taught that. That's programming from when we're little. You know, Somebody asks, well, why this? Why that? What's up with this? And if a person can't give you a legitimate answer, an older person, a wiser person, a knowledgeable person, and I'm getting to what today's message is about, they put it in a box. They make a place for it to go. Um, and I think what's happening now in our world is a convergence of many different energies. We've got planetary, environmental disruption everywhere. We have medical, viral disruption everywhere. We have emergency services, those that are trained to think in the moment and heal, and they are right up on the forefront. So we think that, wow, you know, not long ago we had armed forces doing the protecting thing, controlling the mayhem. But now we have emergency doing the healing. And it's just looking at it, the landscape of it, what that feels like. We're now in a process of people being healed, needing healing. Um, and that's where I feel like, oh, it makes a little bit more sense that lots of folks are coming to want to be healed. And so for me, writing and finishing that piece on the sins of insecurity was a bit of a healing session. I had to dig into, unearth some of those not so pleasant feelings that created the feeling of not being worthy, not being good enough, something's wrong with me, you're a freak, you're a this, you're a that. Went through the bullying phases. I didn't write all these in detail, but it was cathartic to revisit that as a now somewhat person in healing, that it doesn't really have much of an impact in my life today as it did then. Yeah, so done. So today's cards, I just sat quickly and did my grateful thanks for guides, angels, and higher ones for revealing and teaching me what I need to know, and for helping me share the message with all of you. And I ask that people, places, situations, energies, stories, anything that's not to everybody's highest good, leave. And that I'm love, I'm light, I'm about love, I'm about light, and fear and darkness and debauchery and evil are strangers. They don't align with me, I don't align with them, they're done. And love, light, good healing feeling is all here, and that's what I'm about. So the first card I drew, which is from Carl Gray's Angel Guide Oracle, is Intuition and Downloads. I'll put that up there for you to see, and you can see it's an angel that literally sits and basically meditates. This angel is pretty much giving you the okay to go within. And I was drawn to read what it said, because at first I thought, well, this is also very personal. And I'm, yes, I take my issues with spirit world too. And just like I do with people, it's a different type of confrontation. It's more of a, I'm curious. Why this? Why that? Why are you giving me personal cards when I'm wanting to share this? But when I think of the collective spirit world, meaning we see things because of the human way we are, we see things as people, individuals, one person, another person, another person, that linear thing. Well, if you look at the one person, we'll just take a person that you know very, very well, even yourself, and you realize how many different energies that person has. Again, putting it in a justifiable box, you could say, well, they're multiple personalities. Yes, but that's also multidimensional energy. Let me give you a flat example. All right, you have a lawyer that's trained to look at legal contracts, whatever that lawyer specializes in, but yet on the other side, they're an accomplished musician. Oh, so it takes different energy to put their concentration on the representation of a client, or the construction of a contract, or the legalities of how the law applies to what they do. And then it takes a different energy then to train yourself to read the music, put the music in your psyche, and then turn that out with an instrument to make this incredible sound. That's a flat, straight up example of a person who is utilizing many different energy centers within the same person. So if you extract that into spirit world, it seems that you have multiple spirits collectively working, and that's true. But the spirit doesn't have a physical body, doesn't have arms and legs and eyes and a mouth and a tongue, can't talk, it communicates. They communicate in a different way. And that all came about for me when I was trying to understand how really gifted channels, really gifted people that are connected, that never lost the connection, how are they able to speak in terms of multiple energetic forces? Well, you can when you don't have the limitations of a body, where you're able to be free and open and there's no actual physical dimension. And now it feels like it's getting a bit lofty. So let me read what Intuition and Downloads say. There is in the book because it was interesting and I wanted to share it verbatim. Your message: hearing high pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, and having the sense that beings are visiting you in your sleep are all signs that you are receiving downloads from heaven. When you draw this card, your angels want you to know that the feelings you are having and the intuition and the intuitive urges that you have been feeling are divinely inspired. If you feel that you've been having psychic insights into a particular situation and have been wondering if you can trust them, this card is reassuring you that they are indeed correct. This is a time when you are able to see, hear, and feel beyond the human senses. Your human intuition is becoming stronger, and you are in touch with angels, guides, and other divine beings. You are encouraging your growth and connection to the universe. So the extended message, which I like, it's like, ooh, there's more. There's always more. You are a light worker. This means that you have the capacity to bring light to the earth through your presence and purpose. Even though you feel sensitive and overwhelmed, know that your gifts are stronger now and your psychic muscles are moving. You are being encouraged to look beyond what is physical and what your physical eyes are showing you. You are being encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes are showing you. You may want to use what you pick up to plan ahead. If so, it's important to keep your mind and energy focused on the best possible outcome. Be aware of signs and symbols showing up, be aware of signs and symbols showing up at this time. Your angels are sending you important messages that will help you move forward in your life. Call upon them to help you connect deeply with the spiritual vision that's opening up within you. So I find that personal for me, but I'm thinking now, it's got to be personal for more of us. Can't be the only one feeling this way, thinking this way, and pulling Pandora's box open and seeing what's inside. The other card that came through, the wisdom behind it, is the Shadow Queen. So the Shadow Queen really says, just pay a bit more attention to the details and let it all kind of manifest as it's supposed to. Aspiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. So sometimes the human plays catch up. What does that mean? It means that we sit lolling around, not really sure what's going on, not really having a plan, which is fine. Lolloping is not a bad thing to do. And then all of a sudden, we get this notion, idea, thought, feeling, desire, momentum, and we just want it to just happen right now. So it's a bit like lolloping around, slowing, taking it easy, then whoosh. Once we've got this vision, once we've got this idea, once we've got this project and thing happening, well, whoa, we want to go. So the Shadow Queen pumps along and says, yes, you should, but pay attention to rushing too quickly. And by that, I mean, whenever I've been in a rush to get things done, because I've actually said this, I've got to get this finished, I've got to get this done, there's a little bit of almost obsessiveness about it. And I find myself missing details. I'm skipping things, not taking time, just getting to the deadline really before the plans had chance to finish. It's a bit like signing a contract before the ink's dry. You miss stuff. So the Shadow Queen just says, be looking at all of the angles, the underneath angle, the side angles, the front angles, and just pay attention to how the plan unfolds for you. And that requires just being present to the unfolding of it. What gets in the way, what the limits are our own limiting belief. So two things happen, at least for me. One is, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it, which is good if you are fearful of doing it. If not now, when? If not who? If not you, who? That's the questioning of, do you really want this? And if you really want this, what's stopping you? It isn't like, if I don't go now to the store and pick up that last one on the shelf, I'll never get another chance. And so you're rushing and going and speeding, and you hit something or somebody, or you get into a car accident, or something else happens. That's the example the Shadow Queen's talking about. And sometimes when you're really not sure if this is really what you need to do, should do, that's an indication to sit back and wait. Sit back and wait. I've had many conversations with folks who are concerned about, their teenagers who, I don't know how they navigate this division in education. Some places are back in school, some places are not. Some students are dealing with, we can't quite get this virtual world sorted out. I probably would be one of those if I was dealing with this. So my bigger picture was, okay, so whose obligation is it to educate the child? Does it fall on the responsibility of teacher A or teacher B? Not really. Does it fall on the responsibility of the district? Part of it does. Does it fall on the jurisdiction of the principal? All these things, which really leads to whose fault is it? Not really anybody's. So you take it for what it is. You look at what's happening now. You see the child, and you sit in that child's seat and say, okay, this is the situation. It's not the greatest. What can we do to help you make it the greatest situation it could possibly be? Because sometimes when things happen, they happen for a reason. Not necessarily sure what the reason is, but they happen, and they're here, and they're doing it. For me, it's, well, this is where we've ended up. Everything's temporary, and when there's some confusion as to what the outcome is, that's an opportunity to take the confusion and create a plan that works for everybody. A plan that says, well, if it were me and I were dealing with a nephew or a niece or grandchild, I would be, can you write? And can you read? And do you have the skills it takes to perform a task? Can you follow directions? Can you just do what life is asking you to do? Really support yourself. And in my mind, probably I'd be thinking, what would happen tomorrow if this individual, child, student, teenager, were out on their own making it? What would that look like? What would that be like? How would that work for them? And it's just a really mental exercise in thinking in the moment, taking time to create a plan, and a plan that you can forge ahead with. And the example I'm using, which seems a bit awkward and bumpy, really is get together with people who teach, who have a passion for teaching. That could be your child's teacher, could be a teacher that perhaps doesn't teach your child, and gather information, knowledge. What do we need to do? How do we need to accomplish this? And it's quite amazing when those conversations, the frothiness of possibility, the openness of conversation, communication, and a plan, how quite amazing it turns out. All right, time for my reading of Melody Beattie and our meditation. So we're going to go with today's date, the 25th of January. Cherish your favorite spaces. Our world abounds with quiet, free sources of revitalization. I love going to these stores, one woman told me recently. I love touching, handling, and fondling all the colourful bolts of fabric. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. My favourite activity is spending an afternoon in the library, one man told me. If I could only do one thing in life, go one place, that's what I'd choose. I'd lose myself in the pages of the books. They take me to faraway places, places I've never been. And when I leave the library, I feel like I've been touched and changed. What are the places you like to visit in your town or your city? Do you enjoy browsing through bookstores? Is there a favourite shop, a centre in your neighbourhood where the shopkeepers smile a little more and the window displays please your heart? Do you have a favourite restaurant where drinking a cup of tea changes your mood? Cherish old favourite spaces and open yourself to discovering new places. Healing doesn't have to be extravagant, expensive, or traditional. Sometimes it just means going to the places that make us feel good. Going to the places that make us feel good. That I like. I do like that. Isn't that really what it's about? Haven't we got tired of not feeling good? Being sort of shut in and pushed down and underneath the heaviness of all of this. So I think that's a really good theme to follow today. All right, let's meditate. Get situated and centered and present to the environment that you're in, the room you're in, the chair you're in. Let your thoughts settle into consciousness of being here, listening. Take a breath in from the environment. Gather together all that you wish to release and let go of, and then exhale them out. Breathe in and fill up a little more. Continue the art of letting go. Last final breath in. Hold it at the top. Fill up a little more. Let the air get into all those nooks and crannies. Fill up some more. Gently release. Feel the tingle. All that tension, all that worry, all that stuff, the stiff stuff, letting it all go. And follow your breath in and out. And do a sweep of your body from your feet. Anchor them both to the floor. The connected joint of both ankles, left and right. Travel up your shin bones, out toward the skin of your shins and your calf muscle. Move up into your knee joints, to your upper femur bone and your thigh muscles, inner thighs, outer thighs. Send loving light from the inside out through the surface of your skin as you rise up to your hips, across your pelvic bone. Move up from your tailbone into your lumbar spine area. Incorporate the energy and the power that is in your belly, the miles of digestive tract, all your inner organs, kidneys and liver, spleen, pancreas. And scanning your body into your rib cage, your lungs, your diaphragm, your heart muscle, and all the arteries connecting those all up. Lift your chest, your upper back, shoulders and arms as you breathe in. Send that loving, healing light to your shoulders and your elbows, your forearms into your wrists. Move all the energy out through the bones of your fingers, the knuckles of your fingers, into your fingertips, the bed of each fingernail. Move into your collarbone, your neck, your throat, voice box, and the bones that join your collarbone to your skull. Move up into the structure of your skull, how it houses your jaw and how your jaws nest your teeth. Send loving light with your inhale to the small bones of your ears, the outer ear, inner ear. Use your breath to open up your nasal passages. Opening up your passages to your throat, to the back of your nose, up into your eyes. Take your attention, your breath to your forehead, your third eye center. Open it up wide. Focus on all the small, minor muscles of your face, your cheeks, your eyes, your eyebrows. Move into the area of the crown of your head where all the information from universal source, intuition, travels to you. With your mind peaceful and quiet, focus your inner eye, your third eye, straight out in front of you. And gently use your breath. Quiet your mind. And in this moment of stillness, complete peace, quiet, and tranquility, the experience of space and time feels suspended and still. Use your breath, the anchoring of your hands and your feet and your head, to bring focus to deepening your connection to your intuitive. The art and practice of meditation lifts the vibrational energy of your human physical experience into the intuitive energy of your spiritual self. In this space of stillness and grace, we call upon the gifted higher angels and guides of the higher ethers, we give thanks to them for reminding us that they're here, present. With humility and grace and gratitude, we call upon their further assistance in expanding our knowledge, increasing our inner wisdom, with humility and grace, we give thanks for the blessings of food, shelter, transportation, luxury goods, gifts, we give thanks for these gifts and blessings that allow us to have the experiences we have, as you sit in this quiet, peaceful space of grace. Know that the angels, your spirit guides, the spirits of those you knew in life who are still with you in spirit. Use this time of peace and grace to call them forward and with the love and openness in your heart. Assure them that you are ready to listen and receive. Follow the guidance that you're given. Listen for the signs and the messages. And keeping your mind, your heart, and your lifted vibration open. Keeping the communication open between you and your helpers in spirit. Allow your awareness to come back to your present space. Your hands to prayer at heart center, honoring yourself and honoring any energies, entities that are for your highest good for being with you. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center. And together we bow and say namaste. Wow. So, one little caveat of information before we close today. The idea, thought, feeling, process of channeling, which you'll hear a lot from folks, is just exactly in a way what we did. Just the same way that you would engage in the energy of someone in the human form that you know, that you want to be around, approaching it with respect, approaching it with humility, approaching it with grace and gratitude, keeps the energy of that up and lifted. For me, it's also about reading books such as The Four Agreements, The Fifth Agreement, anything by Don Miguel Ruiz or his son. There's also a book, The Zen Mind, A Beginner's Mind. What does that do? It does, to some, appear very lofty and very sort of out there. That's the ego. That's unfortunately the judgment. We all have it. We have to understand the growth from the judgment. The idea of, that's why judges are judges. They look at both sides and give an intelligent, fair decision. The other part, before I let you go, is there are theories out there that talk about how you close off the communication between you and spirit. For me, honoring the fact that they're here around doing the work with us all the time, I like to keep that open. There's also a sense of comfort, a sense of joy, a sense of, I'm not here on my own and not by myself. I've got this. And in looking at this intuitive download card and the Shadow Queen, this one, today, just be aware that some of the little nuances that you see here, the ringing in the ear, the little unusual, like I think about a month ago I was seeing ladybirds everywhere. And then, I think I shared in the fall, or late fall, early part of the holidays, I had chickadee birds appearing in the yard, just popping by, chirping. I haven't seen them in a while, but these little things are gentle reminders that we're not really on our own. We're not really by ourselves. And there was a time in my life I felt a little bit weird about saying that. Felt like there's a bit out there. I shouldn't be telling people this, but that's, again, ego. Right, my friends, lots of love, and do something with this Monday that makes a difference, that has a purpose, that makes you put your head on the pillow and say, yeah, I accomplished this today and it felt good. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye.